The Washington Wizards selecting the kid from the Taco Bell commercial, Johnny Davis, out of Wisconsin, the 6'5", 196-pound sophomore, Big Ten Player of the Year, averaged nearly 19 points per game in his sophomore season, a near 13-point jump from his freshman season, and now he heads to play for the Wizards, which we're not really sure who the Wizards are.
Hold on with the disrespect now, okay? We're better than we were last year, okay? That's what we are, okay? And I'm not going to allow any slander to ruin the celebration of the drafting of Johnny Davis, shooting guard out of Wisconsin, okay? Wizards needed a guard. We needed a playmaker. We needed someone who can come in and make an impact straight out the draft. And what better choice, what better option at shooting guard than a guy who comes in, Big Ten Player of the Year, National Player of the Year, Wooden All-American, Jerry West Award winner. That goes to the nation's best shooting guard. And he's a better option than Jeremy Sochan, who we were also rumored to have some interest in. Kid ended up getting drafted by the Spurs at the 9th pick, which made the Johnny Davis selection even more inevitable. So, welcome to Beyond the Box Score. I'm the DMV MVP, and today we're going to break down what makes Johnny Davis so special, the 4 key things that are going to make him a key impact player and a great draft pick by the Washington Wizards this year, starting with the high basketball IQ. This shows up in his game offensively as well as defensively. He's able to have good footwork on defense, play with his hands without fouling on defense, and also play very well against bigger and more athletic players. He had a matchup earlier this year against Jaden Ivey, a player who was heralded going into this draft as well, got picked earlier by the Detroit Pistons, and he more than held his own in those one-on-one matchups. He showed the better ability, in my opinion, to win off the dribble, one-on-one, without the help of screens, picks, or offensive play movement. And ultimately, that improvement offensively, defensively, and as a leader for Wisconsin from his freshman year to his sophomore year is a big sign of high IQ, also a sign that he's a hard worker and a quick learner. You know, to go from averaging about 8 points per game to 20 points per game, it's tough to average 20 points in men's basketball in general. So he assumed his new role on his team as not only the leader, but the top scorer and closer for his team, and he wore it on his back. And that's more than you can say for a lot of the picks the Wizards have made these recent years. A lot of them are project types, guys who were role players on their respective teams prior to coming into the league. So this guy's coming in as a winner and a tone setter, which is something that they really needed out the gate and not have to sit around and have to develop and figure out. So another great aspect of Johnny Davis' game is his paint production. This guy does a great job of finishing in the paint. He can finish against contact. He's 6'5". We've had a lot of guards, backup point guards, around that 6-foot range. Spencer Dinwiddie was 6'5", but Johnny Davis is a stronger built 6'5", so he can finish in the paint, in traffic, drives to the paint, and can finish really well below the rim or above the rim. He plays hard, so offensively you see this in his quick step burst ability to get to the basket or set up crossovers. If he can't get all the way to the basket, he does a great job of putting the defenders on his hip, doing some mid-range, low-post footwork to either create a quick shot, a fadeaway, or maybe step through some traffic and finish with touch. And when you look at the paint production, it really highlights his basketball IQ and shot selection as the leading scorer for the Wisconsin Badgers last year. You're talking about a guy who shot only 195 shots his freshman year and then shot about 300 more shots, 492, his sophomore year. Now, when you look at his free throw attempts, though, his free throw attempts went from 43 free throw attempts to 196. So he shot 150 more free throws, and you don't do that unless you do a great job of getting to the basket and mixing up your game, not just with some one-on-one and some hero ball, but by getting to the basket, drawing contact, finishing, and putting some fouls on the opponent. Now, when he's not in the paint, he's shooting those jumpers, and he's doing it very effectively with a nice quick release. This, combined with his ability to score in the paint, makes him a great shot creator, another asset that the Wizards desperately needed, especially at that guard position where you want to be able to penetrate, you want to be able to cause a little bit of chaos, throw the floor off balance, and either get a shot or create for the other players on the team. Now, again, his shot has a really good quick release to it, which is a big deal when you consider Corey Kispert last year. I was like about to just pull my hair out watching dude because he kept getting his shot blocked. He's supposed to be a great shooter, and he did add up to be a good shooter by the end of the year, but he struggled mightily just getting his shot off. And one thing Johnny Davis has proved with different matchups throughout the year in his sophomore year is early in his basketball career in college and coming into the league, he can score against other defenders who are very athletic and in that NBA mold. So I do not expect to see the same shot blocking issues when he's shooting his jumpers. And if you look at his highlights, the guy has a quick release, whether it's from the arc, mid-range, or just finishing in the paint before athletic or bigger defender can disrupt his shot. This is much different from what I saw watching Chet Holmgren highlights. Every time he played against an NBA level prospect, he tended to bounce off of them, not be able to finish over them. So this guy is, again, NBA ready and NBA built. He has a very diverse scoring repertoire. He can score on ball, off ball, from the three, mid-range, and in the lane. So that's going to be big playing with the Wizards. Yeah, they're not a great team, but they do have shooters. They have guys who can handle the ball, shoot the ball. But at the same time, they go through dry spells offensively where they need someone who can play one-on-one or maybe take and make that hero shot. So he's a perfect fit for him with his shot creation skills and quick release. And last but not least, the final thing that really stood out to me was his sneaky athleticism. You probably noticed it watching the highlights as we went through his other abilities. He's stronger and faster than he looks. Young, so he still has potential to grow and get even more athletic, especially as he starts to do his NBA conditioning. But he combines his high IQ and athleticism to do a great job of timing blocks, timing steals, and playing bigger defenders well in the mid-range and post as they try to attack closer to the basket. Offensively, he's able to time those put-back dunks and finish in the paint with contact. You see him finishing the paint a lot, drawing contact, and he does not fall that much. So that bodes well for his health as well as offensive production when it comes to and-one plays, three-point plays, the old-fashioned way. And going back to the defensive impact, you just have to look at the landscape of the league. A lot of point guards are 6'5" or bigger, and they're not going to get smaller. So, when you have to deal with a LaMelo, a DeJounte Murray, even a Steph Curry is 6'3", who's added some weight, and you saw him in these finals being able to hold his own against bigger defenders as well, you have to have a guard that can play small or big in today's game. The finesse game is nice. You can get some very nice point totals, a lot of wins, a playoff berth. But when you get in that playoffs, the rules do change. The playoff game is much different, and it helps to have a guard that's athletic, with size, that can finish with contact, that can take advantage of mismatches, and really just D up the opposing defender without being a liability because of their size and athleticism. You want to be able to switch. You want to be able to keep those other guards, those bigger guards, out of the paint or just make life tougher on them. And you can't do that if you got guards that are 6 feet, 6'2", and aren't athletic. Now, to be fair, I did want to highlight some areas of improvement for Johnny Davis, those being his playmaking assist ability and his shooting efficiency. Now, as the team leader and leading scorer this year, he had a lot of responsibility. Sometimes you got to put the team on your back and do a lot of the scoring, and because he does so much scoring-wise, rebounding-wise, and defensively, you can't really hate on him for certain areas of his game taking a back seat, this being the assist column. So in the NBA, he's going to be on a team where, again, he has a lot of shooters around him, but he's probably going to be playing off ball. So what he has to do is, again, not get too caught up in the one-on-one, not get too caught up in the hero, play off of his team, and when he finds his shot, take it, but also be able to find your shot to create a shot for your teammates and make your team better while improving your assist totals. Now, that added responsibility last year also feeds into why he may have struggled with his shooting efficiency. Again, when you're doubling your shots that you're taking, when you're quadrupling the free throws that you're taking, and you're increasing your responsibility. So now you have to take these shots, not just throughout the game, but also in clutch moments against typically the opponent's best defender, right? Because if you're having a good game, they're going to key in on you. If they understand that you're the leader and the leading scorer of the team, then they're going to come in with a game plan targeting you. So this all can affect your shooting efficiency in a year where you're increasing your number of shots dramatically. So his pain point is really his three-point shooting, which dropped about 10% year over year because his three-point volume went from 36 shots last year to over 120 three-point shots this year. And even in the second round of the NCAA tournament where they lost, he went 0 for 7 from 3. So definitely an area of weakness where if he can improve his three-point shooting, maybe improve his three-point shot selection with less pressure on him to lead a team and hit the big shots, more so playing off ball, we could see his three-point percentage move closer to something like 35 to 40% the way it was his freshman year. So those are the things that got me excited about Johnny Davis joining the Wizards this year. I think with a healthy Bill, a healthy Kuzma returning, and also a full year with Porzingis, there's an opportunity there for them to sneak into the playoffs. So we'll see how things work out this season, but welcome to DC, Johnny Davis. I'm the DMV MVP on Wizards Watch today. Thanks for watching and listening to Beyond the Box Score. Like, subscribe, hit me in the comments, tell me what you think. Peace.